I've had a bunch of people ask me about the file sizes of the Nikon D800. The bajillion pixels on the sensor mean super large file sizes, and yes, I just said bajillion. So people have asked if my workflow has changed at all. My answer is, I haven't changed my workflow because of the D800 per se. But let me back up a minute. First, many experts will tell you that you absolutely must shoot at the top quality and image size that your camera has at all times. Some say RAW only. Some say JPEG large is okay. I'm not that type though. I'm more utilitarian, you could say. Or maybe pragmatic would be a better term. Anyway, I do shoot in large file sizes for my professional work. And if I'm shooting a wedding, I'll be shooting in JPEG large or RAW depending on the situation. However, if I'm shooting for SnapChick or for myself, I'm occasionally shooting in RAW, but more often I'm shooting in JPEG. And I don't even always shoot in JPEG large. Sometimes it's normal or even small. I'm not sure what the point is of taking up the space on the memory card and in my hard drives when I know that I'm not going to need the utmost quality. I've printed and framed everything from less than 1 megapixel to 36 megapixel images, and I don't know. It's like this. I have one for you. I needed to purchase a new disposal for my kitchen sink this weekend. I went to the hardware store and I stood in front of the row of disposals, and they ranged in price and in capability. So I looked at the most expensive one and I thought, that one says you can put potato peels down it, and you know what? I'll bet I could put a whole watermelon down that thing and it would just eat it all up. And then I looked at the lower end and I thought, but am I really going to put a whole watermelon down my disposal? And that small one, it looks much easier to install. Maybe I should save the few $100s and throw the watermelon in the trash instead. My point is though, you only need what you need. That being said, there is the occasion that I do shoot large file sizes. So let's talk about those times. I have a couple of memory cards in my D800, but I do have to worry more about bringing extras with me when I shoot an event. I always had extra cards with me before, but now it's more likely that I will actually fill up multiple cards. And when I'm shooting in RAW for personal stuff or for SnapChick, I typically don't keep the RAW files, but I haven't done that for a long time. For professional work, don't get me wrong, I keep the files pretty much forever, but for me, I don't keep them. I usually go through them and sometimes get rid of the ones that I don't want. Then I edit the RAW files, and then I convert all of the originals to JPEG and delete the RAW files. I know a lot of people out there are going to freak out about that, but you know what? Let's keep it all in perspective. No one's going to die if I delete one of my RAW files and then wish I hadn't. As for editing, I haven't noticed a difference. I edited the D800's files in Aperture, and you know what? I actually edited the D800's RAW files in Snapseed on my iPad with no problem. I've edited on my iMac and on my MacBook Pro, and I just haven't had any issues. So my workflow really hasn't changed, but my process of deleting unnecessary files has become more important, and I make sure to have enough memory cards available when I'm shooting with this camera. If you want to hear more details about my workflow, I do have a video where I explain it. And let me know if you have any other questions.